Citing low palladium prices, Impala Canada says production at its Lac des Îles mine will end next spring. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Ryan Benazzo. The shutdown has been rumored for several years and the company has now made it official. The palladium mine, located about an hour north of Thunder Bay off Highway 527, is being closed in May of next year due to a prolonged period of low pricing. Justin Hardy joins us in studio with more. Justin, how big of an impact will this have on Thunder Bay?
Ryan, this is going to affect a lot of people in the city. Impala Canada employs roughly 750 people in the mine. Many of them live in the Thunder Bay area. That's not to mention the local vendors who also supply goods and services for the mine. Officials with Impala Canada say there's just not enough market demand to support the operation. Impala CEO Tim Hill confirmed during a site visit last week that operations at Lac des Îles mine will come to an end by May of next year. In a follow-up email to staff, Hill outlined the company's plans moving forward. It reads, "The final date of operation is dependent on several factors, including available tailings capacity and our ability to meet production targets." Hill also acknowledged that the company had faced ongoing financial pressures, driven largely by persistent low prices in the palladium market. A spokesperson from Impala has confirmed that this has significantly impacted the mine's ability to sustain itself. The company had previously committed to giving its roughly 750 workers and contractors ample notice should a shutdown become necessary. Back in late 2023, Impala had already initiated a round of modest workforce reductions in response to weakening palladium prices. Now, with the end of production clearly on the horizon, Hill is encouraging staff to focus on making the mine's final year one to remember. Most workers at the site are represented by the United Steelworkers Union, but as of Monday, union leadership had not issued a public response to the company's announcement. Thunder Bay's CEDC said in a release on Monday that the closure of a major employer is never easy, especially for the workers and families directly impacted. However, Thunder Bay in northwestern Ontario continue to be a hub for mining and exploration. Located northwest of Thunder Bay, the mine is one of just two known sources of pure palladium in North America. The rare metal is primarily used in catalytic converters for vehicles. Impala did indicate that reopening could be possible one day, dependent on a significant and sustained rebound in palladium prices. Justin Hardy, TBT News.
Thunder Bay police have now released details about the suspect in that frightening hostage incident on Friday. 63-year-old Morris Wayne Hogan has been charged with armed robbery and forcible confinement, along with other weapon and drug charges. Hogan was the subject of a nearly 14-hour police standoff in the 100 block of North Cumberland Street. The police say the suspect entered the Villa Square on Friday morning and brandished an apparent firearm toward three people. He then demanded that two of them leave while the third was held inside the premises. Police arrived and contained the scene as a standoff ensued. Officers established communication with the suspect and arranged for the safe release of the hostage shortly after 11:15 a.m. That person didn't sustain any physical injuries. The standoff continued until the suspect finally surrendered to the OPP Tactics and Rescue Unit shortly after 10:20 p.m. The firearm was determined to be a replica. Hogan remains in custody pending a future court date. Unifor's national president is calling on all levels of government to stop stalling and commit to a deal to secure jobs at Thunder Bay's Alstom plant. Lana Payne says her local members desperately need that $2.2 billion contract to build new subway cars for the TTC.
Let's get on with it. We need to be using our procurement dollars in Canada to support Canadian jobs and Canadian workers. And what better way to do it than to put this project, building these subway cars, into Thunder Bay.
Unifor Local 1075 members in Thunder Bay are still waiting on a signed deal to build 55 new subway cars for Toronto's Bloor-Danforth line. The province and Toronto Mayor Olivia Chow are in favor of sole sourcing the subway contract directly to Alstom in response to the U.S. tariffs. But Chow says they still need the federal government's approval for that. Payne is warning that hundreds of local manufacturing jobs are at serious risk without that contract.
We are now in a place where workers are going to be beginning to lose jobs in the facility. We've had some layoffs. We're nowhere operating at capacity in terms of where we should be at the Thunder Bay plant. And, this is a perfect opportunity for all levels of government to show that when they've been saying we want a more resilient Canadian economy, and one of the ways we're going to do it is by building things here at home, let's start with Thunder Bay.
The Ontario Trucking Association has concerns about Thunder Bay City Council's decision to implement a designated truck route and ban transports from Dawson Road. The OTA insists that won't fix the safety issues, it'll just move them, and that rerouting could also lead to higher operating costs for truck companies and impact the environment. Jessica Clement explains.
City Council's decision to implement a designated truck route may have more of an impact than expected, according to the Ontario Trucking Association.
We don't feel the truck route bylaw is the necessary mechanisms to achieve safety in the whole area. We have a host of alternatives that we'd be pleased to work with council and with the city on.
Jeff Wood, Senior Vice President of Policy, says truck safety is always top of mind for the OTA. The DTR would reroute more than 1,300 trucks off of Dawson Road and Arthur Street and onto Highway 1117. Wood notes they're just moving the safety problem, not getting at the root of it.
There is a segment of the industry, and it's growing, that operates a non-compliant business model in all senses of their operation. And some of the folks in the community may have been exposed to that. We're certainly well aware of that segment of our industry. And the only way to deal with that is through enforcement, more rules, more police officers, more MTO officers, and more oversight. So we're fully supportive of doing that.
He says there are numerous ways to address overall highway safety, including implementing 24-hour truck inspection facilities, automated speed enforcement, and red light cameras. Along with safety concerns, Wood adds that the city is in a crucial location along the national supply chain.
Adding that extra distance on an annual basis, adding the extra CO2 or GHG emissions, just the volume, the sheer volume of trade that is potentially impacted by this, which I think we've looked at in the $20 billion range. Redundancy in the highway system is something that, as an association, we've talked about, and redundancy translates into making sure that we have multiple routes to support trade. There are ways to do it safely. There are ways to for the industry to cohabitate with the community.
The road is set to take effect on October 1st. Wood says the OTA is still reviewing the bylaws details and will be seeking clarification in the upcoming weeks regarding implementation and enforcement. Jessica Clement, TBT News.
The municipality of Shunya is moving forward with a major rehabilitation of Lakeshore Drive, one of its most heavily traveled roads. It's part of a multi-year infrastructure improvement plan. 6 main culverts are scheduled for replacement over the next 2 months. Each one will require Lakeshore Drive to be closed from Monday to Thursday, with the temporary closures continuing through late August. Shunya CAO Paul Greenwood says the culvert work comes ahead of a full-blown rehabilitation and repaving that's planned for next year.
The full rehabilitation of Lakeshore Drive would have been in the neighborhood of about $9.5 million. Based on the designs that were provided by TBT Engineering, we believe the cost would be in the neighborhood of just under $9 million, with approximately $1 million going towards culvert replacement.
Greenwood is asking the public to be mindful of the detours along Lakeshore, slow down and watch out for pedestrians and others out enjoying the summer in that area. Ontario's largest forest fire in recorded history has finally been contained. Red Lake 12 has been burning for nearly a month and a half in the western part of the region. The record-setting wildfire has been burning since May 28th and covers more than 195,000 hectares. The blaze prompted the evacuation of both Sandy Lake and Deer Lake First Nations as it spread. Officials have now declared that the fire is being held, meaning it's not expected to grow any further due to progress made by firefighters. 18 crews are working in 3 divisions along the fire's southern and eastern perimeters, supported by 7 helicopters. Crews continue to patrol the area, targeting hotspots and monitoring for any signs of new flare-ups. The charities that operate Wilderness Discovery Center celebrated the completion of a major infrastructure project this past weekend. The fully accessible camp on Shabandawan Lake has a brand new $400,000 wheelchair ramp, and it was all paid for thanks to the proceeds from Hagee TV Bingo. Jonathan Wilson has the story.
Excited to do the cutting of the ribbon at the kickoff of the Hagee Way. Yeah. Awesome.
It was a day to celebrate, as a project that was years in the making finally opened to users at Wilderness Discovery Center. The new accessible ramp cost just over $400,000 and was entirely paid for using proceeds from Hagee TV Bingo, which runs every Saturday in the spring, fall, and winter months on Thunder Bay Television.
It was something really, special that Hagee wanted to take on. Wonderful structure that takes us from the top of our parking lot all the way down to the beach. So it allows us to have all of our members with any type of disability to be able to utilize the ramp system to get all the way down to the beach to utilize the facility down here.
The $400,000 donation from Hagee to Wilderness Discovery Center for this project represents about 3 years' worth of Hagee Bingo proceeds and shows just how important all those bingo players are to facilities like this.
This has been a long time coming for us. I've been here for 15 years now, and it's been a project that we wanted to complete it since I've been here, and it's finally done, and it's great for all the people who use this facility.
I remember the old ramp. It was a little steeper and a little bit harder to get.
Hagee Board President Riley Halady says the old ramp that was in place here for around 30 years had a slope that was quite a bit steeper and says it was long overdue for a replacement. Around 13 of their 20 handicapped tenants at the Hagee facility on Jasper Drive came to take part in the dedication ceremony, do some camping, and try out the new ramp.
It's a lot easier to be able to get down here as opposed to having to take an old sand road. This ramp being a new ramp with a decreased slope angles to get down, so it makes it a little bit easier for people, especially in pushchairs, to be able to get up and use the waterfront. It's just a beautiful thing to see out here. It's gorgeous to see on the property. It's a beautiful piece of construction.
So TBT Engineering came out first, did a big assessment for us to see the viability of what the project and material could be used for the land. And then we had Peterson Design come out, and then they essentially designed the ramp that we see behind us. Then we had Breaking Ground Contracting was the contractor that worked with us, and they were amazing.
The new ramp represents the last major upgrade for a while, and the center is now open to all its user groups, including Camp Quality for kids fighting cancer. Those young campers will spend a full week here in mid-July. Jonathan Wilson, TBT News.
The City of Thunder Bay has announced an exciting lineup for this year's Live on the Waterfront concert series. The first show is on July 16th, and they continue every Wednesday evening until the end of August. From folk to country to pop, dozens of performers will take the stage this summer. Jacob Hamilton has the details.
Live on the Waterfront is what summer in Thunder Bay is all about. Music, food, fun, and people enjoying it all together. The first show of the season on July 16th will feature folk indie artists Ezra, Laughlin, and Bells Larson. Rock, blues, country, and pop fans should expect to hear some tunes from their favorite genres throughout the summer as well. And special events developer Karen Kadolf says each Wednesday concert will be like a theme night.
We're really excited about this year's lineup. So we have a ton of local talent that we're really happy to be working with. We've also gone into a little bit more theme nights this year. So if you're looking for a country night or a rock night, all of those artists will be curated together on the same night.
Spectators can enjoy food from local vendors, arts and crafts, and other activities on top of some awesome tunes. A doubleheader will wrap up the 2025 installment of the Live on the Waterfront Summer Send-Off with back-to-back nights on Wednesday, August 27th and Thursday, August 28th. Along with the musicians, there will be a drone light show presented both nights, featuring up to 400 drones lighting up the night sky. It comes as a result of a partnership with the Thunder Bay Airport.
We are really excited for our Live on the Waterfront Summer Send-Off, which is August 27th and 28th. We do have 2 drone shows, and we'll be making really cool images. The drone shows take about 12 to 15 minutes each, but they're just going to be something that we've never had in Northwestern Ontario. This is something that we've kind of looked at for the last couple of years as technology changes. We really hope that everybody comes out for it.
All of the Live on the Waterfront concerts are free of charge to attend. and the city is expecting good crowds throughout the season, and even higher numbers for those final 2 shows in late August. Jacob Hamilton, TBT News.
And one of the longest running family events in Thunder Bay, the Teddy Bears Picnic, is set to go tomorrow, but the location has changed due to the weather. For over 30 years, the picnic, which celebrates the joy of play, creativity, and community connection, has been held at Vickers Park. But with the rain in the forecast tomorrow, the city has announced that the Teddy Bears Picnic is being moved indoors to the Fort William Gardens. All the popular activities, including the Teddy Bear Parade, the Boo Boo Bear Station, and the Community Group Expo, will still happen. City officials hope to see hundreds of kids and their families at the gardens, and a reminder to everyone, don't forget your teddy bear. All right, well, that does lead us into the weather. And Haley, a little bit disappointing there that the Teddy Bears Picnic can't go at Vickers Park as it typically does, but it'll still be a great event nonetheless, I'm sure.
Yeah, it can be hard to break tradition sometimes, but planning ahead is best for something like this because we are expecting to see some showers tomorrow. I know it'll be my nephew's first Teddy Bear Picnic, so I'm excited nonetheless. As for today, though, today would have been a lovely day for a picnic, so hopefully you got to enjoy it. We had a high of 23 just recently, which isn't too bad. That's right around seasonal for this time of year. At the hottest point, the Humidex made it feel like 26, but for the most part, it only made it feel 1 to 2 degrees hotter at each hour. Now, we started mainly sunny in the morning. We became partly cloudy in the afternoon, but really not too bad. Winds were fairly light for the most part as well. Around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we saw it gust from the south-southeast about 34 kilometers an hour, but nothing too bad, and that didn't last very long at all. And our low was in the single digits, but that was at 6 in the morning. We did also see a brief period of fog then, but not too bad. As for the region now, we are expecting to see some showers moving in. That's our radar showing that Fort Frances is already starting to experience it. So there is some plans for potential overnight showers and into tomorrow as well. Now let's take a look at that where, like I mentioned, Fort Frances is already starting to see the showers, but they're still at 25 right now. And that's their high for the day currently. Up in Red Lake, though, they've had quite a warm day as well. They've seen highs of up to 27, and they've been experiencing an air quality statement once again with some smoky conditions, especially in the morning hours, but then a mix of sun and cloud in the afternoon, and the Humidex hasn't been playing too much of a factor for them. Now, elsewhere in the region, we see trends of around 23, 24, and a Humidex making it feel around 1 to 2 degrees hotter in most areas. Now, areas like Armstrong, Greenstone, and down a little further east, they had more of a sunny day consistently throughout the day. We see just partly cloudy skies in areas like Greenstone. Armstrong is one of those areas as well, similar to us, that did get a few gusty hours in the afternoon, around 20 to 30 kilometers an hour, but nothing too crazy. And along the North Shore, or along the entire shoreline of Lake Superior, really, we are seeing slightly cooler temperatures, with Wawa being just 20 right now, but not bad at all, fairly calm there at this hour. And Sault Ste. Marie, nice and sunny, and 23 right around seasonal, lovely for this time of year. Now, for tonight in Thunder Bay, we'll have a low of 13, which is fairly warm. We'll see mainly cloudy skies and a 30% chance of showers overnight with a risk of thunderstorm. Winds should stay light, though. And really, this rain that we're expecting is nothing in comparison to what areas in the south are seeing. Ryan, I know you'll be talking to us a little bit later about that.